and get what's on the board, maybe more than me, right? I don't care about me. Okay, hi everybody, Dr. Morgan here. So we're gonna go through the process of brainstorming, mapping, outlining, and to the essay format, okay? Okay, brainstorming is when we do what?
List ideas.
We list out all our ideas. So everything you can think of from the Shadowy Lines article, right? Give me some points that happen in the Shadowy Lines article.
Mobility.
So upward social mobility. What's the bigger term around this? What's like the big one that has, that's SES?
Socioeconomic data.
Good, socio-economic status, shorthand, SES. And what does SES affect? Brains, quick.
Mobility.
I don't have too long on this video. If that's already up there, Bubs. Health. Yeah, good one. Health. What else does SES affect? Education. What else? Occupation. What else? Wealth. Income. What else? What about like neighborhood? Remember all those ones? So neighborhood. What else?
Food.
Food.
Well, food with the options.
Food and food options, right? Food options that if you're in a lower economic neighborhood, maybe you don't have a grocery store, you gotta eat at the corner store. Remember we went over all that?
Political studies.
Yeah, politics. Okay, Angel, just hold on, okay? Thanks, Bubs. Okay, so if we keep brainstorming, and we do this for every article, so then when you read, what's the other one? Life at the Top isn't just better, it's longer. When you read that article, you brainstorm out all the main points for that, right? Okay, this is a mess, right? A brainstorm is supposed to be a mess. So what you do next is you map. What does it mean to map?
Gather those ideas.
Start organizing them a little bit. Good. So if we put socioeconomic status in the middle, what might we pull out of here that we like the most? Pick the one main one. Health. Right? Because you know that's going to be our paper topic, right? So you want health now.
And environment.
Health, environment. I don't even know that we wrote that on there. Environment.
Say food.
That says environment.
And food.
Food. Give me a couple more, and then we'll. What else?
Education.
What else is on yours, Isaiah?
Stress.
Stress.
Family.
Family structure. Okay, sorry for my horrible handwriting. Okay, so we take our big brainstormy mess, we map it, right? Then what do we do, you guys?
Outline.
Then we take it into an outline. So an outline is not only our organizational structure, it's also essay format, right? And remember, do we have to stick with our format like concretely? Do we have to be really rigid about it? No. But do we need some kind of structure?
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't, the reader can't follow what's happening in your head, right? It needs a beginning, middle, and end. We need an intro, bodies, conclusion. The bodies have to go in logical or chronological order. So, we have brainstorm, map, outline. Here's outline. Remember, we use, what's a Roman numeral represent? A paragraph, excellent. And then the parts of the paragraph are little letters, right? Excuse me. So what's number one?
Intro.
Is the intro paragraph. What do we do how do we start an intro paragraph? Generally, almost always. Some kind of hook, also called an attention grabber. It's just something to grab the reader in. Then what do? We need a couple of sentences here, right? Yeah, that we call background or context. And that's our common knowledge. We don't need to Google anything. We don't need to use statistics here. This is just common knowledge. This is where we would talk about class in America, that America has a class structure, right? We talk about general stuff, yeah? Then it's always the last sentence in the intro. Always, everybody. Thesis. And the thesis is what?
Position.
Your position as author. Do we need to say, I feel like class impacts health?
No.
No. What do we say instead? How do we write academically? Yes. Socioeconomic status, we want to use our vocabulary words, means the same thing as class status. Socioeconomic status impacts health for individuals in America. It's your position as author, you don't need I or you. Okay, then we have, right, intro. Then we have our body paragraphs. Body paragraphs, that's paragraph. Body paragraphs follow a pretty strict structure. You can have more or less sentences for each letter, but generally you need still a micro, beginning, middle, and end. Here's body one. What do we want to pick from our map? What comes first? Think of it in chronological or logical order. What would come first? What's the broadest to the most specific? What starts all of this?
Well, environment.
Yeah, so let's say, I forgot to do this, sorry. Let's say our whole paper, because it is, gonna be on health, right? The whole paper's on, because if I just told you go write on class, you'd need 400 pages, right? So we have to narrow. So I chose health. Okay, so the whole paper's on health. So my thesis is class, socioeconomic status, impacts health. Done and done, right? Which comes first?
Environment.
Environment? You think environment?
Yeah.
I think so too. Good. So here we have environment. You just put it there and remember, an outline's just for you. So you stay on topic. Are we in this paragraph going to mention food?
No.
No. Are we going to talk about family structure?
No.
No. Nothing off topic, because then it's a new paragraph. What's always my A? Always. Topic sentence. And remember, a topic sentence, oh my gosh. A topic sentence is always just clear. Don't make it 9 lines long, right? Just make it clear. A topic sentence would be the primary factor that begins class and health is the environment. That was horrible wording, but you see what I'm saying? You just want to make it clear, and it can be broad, because why? What comes next? More specific. So you can get more specific later. And remember this, more specific can be 2 to 3 sentences. You can say, by environment I mean, don't say I mean, by environment, this is neighborhood. And whatever neighborhood you're in creates a specific kind of cultural environment that impacts someone's health, right? Talk it through. I mean, write it through, right? But don't make it too casual. People are still writing too casually, right? Remember, we don't write the way we speak. You don't want to do it sort of rambling, right? You want to have organization. Then what comes next? We've introduced something, we've narrowed it down. What are we ready for? You're ready for a quote, but you can't just throw a quote in there, right? We have to do what? Introduce our quote. And that looks like what? What do we often?
According to.
Yes. That is most often according to, and we would say, generally the person, right, who we're about to quote, I'm making this up, Dr. John Smith, for the New York Times, right, states that, whatever, or according to Dr. John Smith, and then what? Then what's E? My quote. You put the quote, if it's a direct quote word for word, we signal that to our reader by quotation marks. If we take someone's idea, does that mean it's ours? No, it means it's a paraphrase, right? So what do I do to signal that it's somebody else's? What do I put here? Citation. Author's last name, page number, period. Don't overthink, just author's last name, page number. Rachel.
I have a question about the quote. When we do quote something, do we have to quote the entire sentence, or can we just pick a part of it? Like the most specific. If it's
That's a
really
really
long
good
sentence,
question.
can we just pick the part we
You
need?
can pick out just parts that you want, but if you're taking like bits and pieces from places, paraphrase it. Don't make it choppy, right? Always think of what was going to make the most sense for your reader. And of course, you guys know that I'm your only reader, right? But I'm trying to get you to write for a larger academic audience. So if you publish an article a couple of years from now, You want to make sure that the reader makes sense. Don't put like choppy, weird quote marks all over the place, right? Paraphrase it. But you can pick out parts of sentences, yeah. And then what do? We have a quote, and then do we get to drop the mic and we're like, we're done? I quoted it, I proved it, that's my textual evidence, done? No, we have to do what? Critical analysis. Critical analysis means what?
Dissecting.
How am I doing on time, Malik?
10 minutes, 30 seconds.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Critical analysis. And that means what?
You dissect the quote.
Eric, yes, you dissect the quote. Don't repeat it. Don't ever say, this quote means. The reader knows what it means. They just read it, right? You don't need to repeat it. Don't repeat anything. What we want to do at the college level is break things down. We want to dissect things. We want to analyze them. And we do that most often by asking why and how. Pretend your reader is like, doesn't know anything, right? No, a cousin of yours has not read these whole 3 articles. They don't know anything, and you know all this stuff, right? You have all this information. So you're gonna say to somebody, environment impacts your health, and somebody's gonna say, no, it doesn't. Think of it that way, right? Why exactly does one's environment impact their health? How exactly? Don't make it broad statements, specific. How exactly does this quote, whatever it is, prove that health and environment are connected? Okay? This is like where the rubber meets the road. It's really hard and it's really time consuming, but that's what makes something college level. Rachel, let me just finish because I'm videotaping, you know what I mean? And then what happens? How do we end? F what? J.
Transitions.
Yes, a transition sentence. Oh my God, that doesn't look like anything. That says transition. Transition sentence. A transition sentence is what?
Help you transition to the next paragraph.
It's your on-ramp from 95 to 76. That's it, right? You're just transitioning. So we've chosen what? Do you remember the map? I don't remember anymore. We're going from environment. Not only is environment a pivotal cause of poor health, but also, would stress go? Do you like environment and then you get stressed out by your environment so you eat poor food?
Yeah.
Or, you guys, it's your paper, you get to choose all your stuff, right? Or your environment is rough, it's tough, so that you,
It affects your family.
but you are in a food desert, right? So that you don't have good food, and then that makes you more stressed. You can choose, right? You choose however you want that to be. Or choose family structure, right? Family structure, how family structure impacts your health. That causes stress, that leads to poor food choices. Or mortality, remember we ended on Monday, we ended on that there's higher death rates in lower income communities. It's always good to end on death. No, it's horrible to end on death, right? That says, oh my God, that says transition. Okay? So, final note. When we brainstorm and we move to a map, we're narrowing and organizing. When we outline, if you need to write out exactly what I'm asking you to do that. But recognize that in order for your reader to understand and follow your argument, you need structure, okay? The analysis, remember analysis can be a good 5 or 6 sentences, right? And maybe you can skip more specific. Maybe part of this doesn't work, or if it's your last body paragraph, you don't need a transition. Don't think of this so rigidly, but recognize that you need structure and organization, and that your body's environment, stress, family structure, whatever, have to go in some kind of logical order, okay? I think my voice is officially giving out. Are we good? How does that feel? It's good, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thanks.